Hi, I'm Nivedita Indrajit and I am in conversation with Nisha Verma, my teacher, facilitator, mentor, and friend, and
Hi,
also the founder
Nivedita.
of Yours Consciously.
Yeah. So
So,
tell me, Nivedita, this is such an amazing journey that you are, going with and enjoying going with right now in this entire, situation where there are such mixed feelings of the world, of lockdown and whatever. And I'm really grateful to you for whatever you're doing and giving people that opportunity to talk through you and you know it's beautiful whatever we just spoke about. Thank you for being you.
thank you. So, I know that you started off Yours Consciously, and before that, you were into finance and other things and business. And even now, I think you handle the business part of many things. You actually do the phenomenons of money, right? So, can you tell us more about how it all started for you?
Okay, you want me to rewind how long ago? You want me to go right to the beginning, or you want me to like
You right
rewind
to the
just a little bit?
beginning. I mean, Nisha Verma was born, and then she had a little childhood, and then whatever.
Okay. Okay, a trip down memory lane. All right. So, uh, I grew up in Hyderabad in a huge joint family, and I stayed in this house, which was like, almost like a farmhouse, you can say. It was pretty far away from the city limits, and it was like a huge property with lot of open space. And it was one of those my grandparents moved from Pakistan when this whole uh, freedom
Partition.
movement partition happened. So in compensation for what they left behind over there, they got this place. So we all grew up there in that house, and there were almost three generations when I was the third generation growing up there. And it was a huge space. And but yeah, it had its issues, that getting from point A to point B was only with a car, or there weren't any autos and not available buses and
No,
everything.
no
It
public transport.
was pretty no. So like we were pretty much like in our own space most of the times. And getting from point A to point B was a task. Nothing was nearby, everything was quite far away. And so I had this amazing childhood growing up almost like in the city, but like a farmhouse village setup, where there were plants growing, like kitchen gardens growing all over, and chasing butterflies, catching dragonflies. And uh, apart from that, my parents were completely like uh, spiritually inclined. And uh, even my grandparents and all the people in my house, we followed a guru. So visiting the satsang every week, or going for family functions, would be going to that place Guruji was, and listening to him whenever the occasions. It was probably where the Guru was visiting. So
Yeah.
not only that, but yeah, I mean, quite a few times it was that. And so like whenever we would talk, the uh, bedtime stories were all around philosophies of life. And so I grew up in that kind of environment, always spiritually inclined. And that quest for and the curiosity for learning more. Even all the bedtime stories that my dad told me would be around magic and fairies and angels, and then like intertwined with philosophies of life and lessons of life. So that is what was my childhood. And other times I was like always like stuck to my dad. My dad was like always I was always around my dad. So, he would carry me in his lap, and then he would be talking to all the other family members who were like working with him. So I remember telling him, listening and getting bored of all his business talking, and I was like, no business talking, dad, so I literally grew up on business talk and spirituality. These were the only two things I learned as a child, predominantly, apart from definitely the other things. And then um, I grew up and got very close to my cousin's best friend. And this man grew up, I mean, we grew up together, and he's my husband now. And I have two beautiful kids, and I live in a very nice family here in Hyderabad. I have amazing in-laws who are very supportive and have really been very contributive to me. And they I've just had the best of everything, so far. And yeah, as soon as I got married, my in-laws told me, you know you don't need to get into the kitchen and cook, we really need you in the office. So
Mhm.
those were the words they used, and I was like very happy to help them in the family business and get into the accounts, handling, I kind of had to computerize everything for them. So I made that happen. And then, I had kids, I got busy in that. So there are a couple of other people at home who are like, I have a office at home. So I have a couple of accountants, and I kind of take care of and manage that as well. Apart from which, I run a small little jewelry business online. I sell gems and jewels,
Okay.
and small little trinkets kind of things, which jewelry designers use to make their jewelry.
Okay.
And yeah, and somewhere in life, there was a space where ill health was there in the loved ones around me, my husband, my mother, my father. So that tended to get me to ask a lot of questions and turn inwards. So that whole I love my life got me to suddenly look at, oh my god, now what, where do I go from here? And I'm so busy being a wife, mother, and daughter-in-law. What about me? Where am I kind of felt lost there a little
Okay.
bit. So I started asking questions to my guru. I mean, I knew only that at that moment, and I started asking questions. I'm like, listen, if I need to get initiated, there was a process to it and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think I want to wait. I'm not interested in waiting. I want change, and I want help, and I want it now. Not going to postpone my, um, journey of seeking, just because I have to certainly fit certain criteria or whatever. So I asked questions around that. I'm like, can you help me? Can you show me the path? I didn't know I was not asking my guru that. I was asking the universe that question. And then suddenly, out of the blue, completely magically, Access Consciousness fell in my lap. And my life has never, ever been the same after that. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey in the last 5 years with Access. And I've gone quite into uh, consciousness itself and explored it in length and breadth. And my mentor, Mr. Gary Douglas, uh, gave me one look and signed my book copy and said, just start. And I didn't even know what he meant when he said, just start. I'm like, start what? you know? And I came back and I started thinking, I'm like, okay, what does he mean by just start? And I'm like, okay. And I have this thing, okay, I have like, I need a name, I need the perfect name for my business, and I need to do it properly. Okay, even if I need to become a facilitator, what am I going to be calling my business? And started, you know writing names and doing all kinds of research and stuff like that. And one fine day I just woke up and I was like, okay, that can continue when it does, but let me just start a WhatsApp group and you know, do something, you know, connect with people and see if I have it in me to be able to, you know, communicate with people and help people with what I know right now. You know. And I just randomly named the group Yours Consciously. So Yours Consciously was born out of a WhatsApp group, and I started helping more than 220 people. And I had started this series called 30 Days of Allowance. And then I started another series of reclaiming, you know, your inner power, and so many things after that, you know, one by one.
Mm.
And then it just, there was no turning back. I started becoming a facilitator of one after the other, and I just went with the flow, and that made that gave me the stability in life to be able to deal with many situations. When my mom was going through cancer treatment, and when my dad had a stroke, I mean, access consciousness and the classes that I had done and the knowledge that I had picked up from there is what kind of kept me stable, helped me through life. And you know, it really gave me that strength to move on each one day at a time. And I use the tools. They really are so fabulous, so simple, so easy, at the same time so brilliant. uh, yeah, and in that way I've been able to help a lot of lives, watch them transform, and it's just been an amazing journey so far.
That's so amazing. And I know for sure because I think I've come to you for the abuse hold session. I
Yes.
think that was the first time I came to you, I think. And then I did a bars class with you. I did a
Right.
facelift class with you. I did a vision correction class with you.
Yes.
And thanks to you, I have done my foundation with Parveen Toli. And
You.
then it went hop, skip, jump into so many other classes and then
Yeah.
reading and all that. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for that. So what is it in store for you in the future? Like how does it evolve from here? I know you've been publishing some of your son's work and being involved in his life and all that. So how does that balance happen, handling so many hats?
Yeah, I mean, before I begin with answering your question, I'd like to, you know, point out that the choices that you have made has, I have only been a facilitator in, you know, making your choices help you transform. That's it. I have been only a catalyst in changing, in doing what you chose. All right. So, having said that, that is what is the beauty of Access. We are simply facilitators of change, you know, and that's uh, that's what we are. We aren't here to heal somebody or do some magic in people's lives. I mean, not just Access, but any kind of healing is only facilitating the other person to choose what they're choosing, and you know, sort of be the catalyst in that, in helping them achieve what they really are looking for. So thanks for choosing and changing, and it's just been such a joy watching you transform. It's
Thank
been
you.
really, really nice for me. And yeah, coming to your question about yeah, about my son writing a book. He wrote a beautiful book with which is called Hide and Seek. It's about the culinary traditions of Hyderabadi culture, and I helped him publish it. I kind of kept asking him to, you know, make it a little more than his school project, and which was supposed to be maybe 10 or 15 pages. So he ended up making it a 60-page book, which he combined his photography skills and his writing, creative writing abilities. So there as well, I think, you know, he has that amazing ability to follow, or you know, walk the talk. I just give him a little direction or a little push, and he's there to follow that. So that really came out really beautifully, and I've just, you know, been taking it each day at a time. Somewhere I, you know, have been in his grade 10, I was very upset that, like, last 2 years I haven't been able to give him any time, because I was so wholeheartedly taking care of my parents, and been very, very busy with that, and helping dad through rehab and everything was quite a time consuming process. So in that, somewhere in that feeling that I must give them more time, I spent a lot of time with him during his grade 10, and it did materialize into something beautiful. And that book was born. And somewhere I think, like, I keep thinking, when it comes to me, when will I write my book?
That
When
was
will
my
I
next
do
question.
that? But yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, when it comes, it comes. I'm not like pushing myself to do something when the time is not right, or it's not calling. When it comes, when it starts writing and flowing through me, I'm not going to come in its own way, for sure. About the future of yours consciously, um I
I love the website, by the way.
oh,
Have you ever been
thank you
that?
so much. Thank you. Yours consciously is coming, it's taking its baby steps into the world, and 2020 began at a really nice note. I did, in the last 3 months, I did about 10 to 12 classes, and I have been facilitating. I take 2 private sessions a day. So I had pretty much chock a block, you know, 2 sessions per weekday of mine, sometimes even 3. And even during these corona times, I've had a few doctors reach out to me, a few people reach out to me whom I've been mentoring and helping through this crisis. Because there are, I mean, doctors who are finding it really tough, getting up, getting ready, and walking to that hospital, into that space, is
Mm,
full of fear, even for them.
right.
So, a few people have reached out, and I've been helping them. And they have been really grateful, as well as they have been able to, they've stopped calling me now. So I know that my job is done. you know, so that's the way things are going. And about the future of yours consciously, it's taking its steps one at a time. I'm not rushing it into anything. I'm not very business oriented when it comes to this work of mine. I'm very passionate about it, and I'm willing to take it where it goes when it wants.
Thank you so much for sharing all this. And thank you so much for
Welcome.
coming in conversation.
Thank you, Nivedita. It's been a pleasure. And especially Vidur, I must mention, he has been such a magician. I mean, from the time I asked him to draw, what a magician looks like, and he drew a pirate. I'm telling you, I love that. Each and every class that he's been a part of, in the side playing his games, but passively listening and being a part of it, has been a pleasure every step of the way.
Yeah, he's learned how to say, "Mommy, I know what I know." Yeah, he says that. He says, "You see, I have a choice," and he brings up all the tools. If I say something, he says, "Interesting point of view."
Yeah, I
So
mean, children are such amazing facilitators, and it's fun. And I'm so grateful for you for actually bringing him to all your classes and making him a part of this journey. There are a few parents who do that, but they have so many points of view. Nahi, they'll disturb me, and I keep guiding, people who come to my workshop, please bring your children if possible. Even if they have to miss school, it's worth it. Trust me, this knowledge is important. It really is. Even if they are passively around, they
yeah,
are
that's how
so
learning
listening.
happens. Like even in his school, when he goes, they say that you, as parents, keep doing the stuff that you expect him to do, or you want him to learn something. You don't have to make him sit and learn. You can just do it yourself, and they'll pick up. The children will pick up because we have picked up so much stuff from parents and other things, and we come for healing because we have picked up so much crap. might as well pick up a lot of other things if we are able to enable the environment. I mean, at least that's my takeaway from this whole thing.
True.
You also do conscious parenting kind of a thing, right? Workshops with parents and kids,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yes, I had done a workshop on parenting consciously, and it was just like a 2 hour workshop for parents and kids, where I had interacted with certain parents and spoken to them about what is my experience of parenting consciously, as well as what parenting consciously could bring to their lives. Rather than parenting from discipline and from the no choice universe, when they come from parenting from an inclusive environment for their children, where they speak to them as if they are adults themselves and give them choices. It's such a beautiful journey with them, you know so just like today, I'll give you an example. My daughter, she went with her dad and she said, "Dad, I want to color my hair red." And I was like, okay, no problem. You can go with your dad and bring the color, and probably we'll help you color your hair. And she went and she couldn't find the right color. And then she called me, and I was like, okay, um, you know, here's what I think. You can listen to me and choose whatever you want to choose. So you could wait for the lockdown to get over and go and get it done properly from a person who knows how much color to apply, where to apply. And rather than experimenting and just coloring, what if it goes completely blonde or wrong or something like that? You won't even have a place to go to and get it corrected right now. So think about it. What do you think you should do? There is this possibility that this might happen if you go and do something which you have never done before. However, if you would like, I have some, color sprays which you could use and try. But yeah, I mean, if you do want to buy it, go ahead. This is my point of view. And then she was like, okay. And she went to 2 more shops and she spoke to a few people. And then she came to her own conclusion that it's not worth trying and experimenting. Had I said no, had I put my foot down, she would have made sure that she does what, uh, just to defy me, maybe.
Or just being a true humanoid, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, each day when it comes to parenting them, when you give them choices, when you give them that space to make their own decisions, at the same time just gently giving them your perspective, if they would like to look at that, is also sometimes a manipulation. But however, I mean, that's what I chose to do this time. So it works. I mean, parenting consciously each day, helping them to make choices, because one fine day, if you just leave them once they're 18 or 21 or whatever, when they are out in the world making their own choices, when they have never made choices on their own before, it's going to be a tough job for them. But
That's true.
if they've constantly been making their choices, and then it's like just another choice that they're going to make.
Now they're well versed with making those choices.
Making choices, I realized that when I was in junior college, when, like, I used to find my friends around me not knowing how to make choices, not knowing what to do with their freedom all of a sudden. When they suddenly would bunk college or walk out of college, they suddenly were like free, and they did not know what to do with that freedom. That's where they started going wrong. That's where they started making silly choices, which I need not have made, because I had that freedom all along. you know let's go and do something fun. And their idea of fun was something probably from a movie or something, which I was like, hello, that doesn't even sound fun to me. So if you want to go ahead, I'm not coming. So it kind of helped me make healthier choices, because I was used to and well versed with making choices at that point. So that's how parenting consciously worked for me. Many other tools, many other tips, uh, you know that go with it. This is just one of them.
Since you also have a mini bookstore in your place where you sell books, right?
Yeah.
And which means you also must be reading. So which are the couple of books that you would recommend anybody, like straight off?
Being You, Changing the World is a beautiful book because it's like a starter. It's an amazing book which I recommend to many people who are just about taking their baby steps into access consciousness. It kind of really is very easy to connect to. And as you go deeper, then there are so many options. I just keep a few books at home because when people come for workshops, when they see the books, sometimes it's kind of easier to touch, feel, and buy. And if they want to,
And
else
also
they
have
can
a
always
conversation about it.
absolutely, yeah. Sometimes they are like, you know what, which one would you recommend? And I'm like, just close your eyes, open your eyes, and see which one pops for you. That's maybe the book which is required for you to kind of read. So I just keep a few copies at home
What are the
for
few
them to
copies that
pick
you have
from.
right now, like which are available?
I have Being You. I have the 10 Keys of Freedom. 10 Keys
10 Keys to Total
of
Freedom.
Total Freedom. Yeah, and then I have Talk to the Entities, and I think I have. Yeah, I think I have those. That's it.
Beautiful books.
Yeah. I keep basic ones because those are the ones which are like, most easy to connect to and something that people are looking for. So, yeah. And I sell them at Amazon prices, whatever price I buy them at, that's the price I keep them at. So that, like, there's no profit in that, but it's just for people to, look and decide what they want to buy.
I had one more question, but now I forgot that question.
Then it's not important.
As you were talking, I was talking about books, and then I had one more, and then it's like, it's gone.
Sure, whenever you remember. So you can ask me another question till then if you want to.
I am right
I
now
love
like, wow.
questions.
Yeah, right now I'm like, wow, this is so nice. And, I wish this conversation can keep going on and on and on. But thank you so much. I don't really have more questions right now. But I
Awesome.
really appreciate the way you do your work. And I really love you for who you are and how you wedge me into doing stuff. And I receive you completely. So thank you for being you.
Thank you. And I know that I nudge you and sometimes you hate me, but that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
All right.